Well, the 2028 Subaru STI is not looking very promising due to how saturated the EV market is and how many companies are going that same direction and route. There are a few things about the new STI that's supposedly coming out that are very promising and something you should be excited for. We're going to discuss those things of what you should be excited for while we just go for a cruise through the canyons in the STI. The original STI. Now we all know where the Subaru started and really how it ended. We don't have to go too much into depth because I'm sure a lot of you guys already know. Subaru came to the States in 2004. There was a ton of different versions and facelifts. The last generation of STI that really going through production and really popular was the 2015 and plus generation. Now this was the generation where they changed up the WRX so that the WRX didn't have the same motor as the STI. This was what really separated the WRX and the STI and really made them into two separate cars. The STI went on to get discontinued in about 2022, 2023, like that area. And ever since then, enthusiasts are very upset and they're not stoked, and I'm not either. Due to me being an enthusiast and me falling under that category, I'm not very stoked either. It's a bummer. While change does breed better cars and all this, the problem with that is that the car market is heading towards pretty much electrics only, which is such a bummer for enthusiasts like you and me. These types of Subarus just make such a unique sound, and there's something so special about them that some people get, some people don't, but the ones who do get it really understand what makes these cars so special. So from what we do know about the 2028 STI is that it's likely going to be an EV, which I'm sure a lot of you could have predicted that. I think almost the entire world is able to predict that at this point. And while that is a bummer, there are a few things about it though that actually make it pretty enticing and something to kind of look forward. What's being predicted is that the new generation STI is supposed to come out likely around when this new WRX generation is likely to end. The new WRX came out in spring of 2023, and what critics are predicting is that the new STI is going to come out when that generation ends. The guess is somewhere around 2028. Now that's a bummer. That's still 4 or 5 years away from now. And while that sounds like a bummer, it could also be a good thing. It gives them plenty of opportunity and plenty of time to actually put forth the effort to make the new STI something that enthusiasts would really enjoy. Now, if you put aside the fact that it's gonna most likely be an EV or a hybrid at best, critics are talking about them bringing back the hatchback style. I used to own a 2008 WRX hatchback and I loved it. It's like a small SUV, but it's very compact, fit a lot of stuff in it, fit your friends, everything you need, but is by no means a big heavy SUV that you would have to haul around all the time. One thing that scares me with the fact that the hatchback is likely is that I'm sure you've seen renders of cars before saying this car is coming out, it's gonna look super good, it's gonna look just like this, and then when the new model comes out, it looks like kind of close to it, but it's not near as cool as what the renders and the original predictions of what it looked like. It's not near as cool as like the original renders that originally came out. For instance, look at the new Supra. There were pictures of it floating around the internet looking like this, which got people really excited, and then when it eventually came out in 2020, it ended up looking like this. Not that it looks bad by any means, it still looks amazing and it still looks like a really good sports car, but that is something that's so common with all these car manufacturers is they tease a prototype that's super aggressive and looks really good, and then the final cut version is just very dumbed down, it's very dull compared to what the original design looked like. So this hatchback version of the 2028 STI that I found, I think looks amazing. I think it looks really good. It's something I would totally drive. But something that scares me about it is that it's gonna come out and it's gonna look like a bloated SUV, and it's just not gonna look like what the renders made it look like. So that is something to be concerned about. Now it is a Subaru, so of course it's still gonna come with the all-wheel drive system that Subarus are famous for, which is still gonna be amazing for day-to-day driving, and it's gonna be super versatile and super usable. Critics are predicting that the car is gonna likely come with somewhere in the 400 horsepower range. 400 horsepower is great. Super usable, plenty for the street, it'd be super fun. Now it would be electric 400 horsepower, so it's gonna come off the gate super fast. It's probably gonna have tons of torque, probably go 0 to 60 in like low 4s, high 3 seconds based off the fact that it's electric. But my fear is that they're all just gonna feel the same. A Tesla could feel the same as the new Subaru STI EV. I just don't understand how different they could make a battery. Once you put your foot to the floor, it's gonna go. Whereas cars like this Subaru from this generation, sound is completely different, the gearbox is completely different than like most cars on the road. That's what made these cars special. So I just don't know how the new EV STI is gonna differentiate from all the other EV cars on the road. 400 horsepower is still really good, It's definitely an improvement from the combustion version engines of these cars. These STIs have made 300 horsepower from the start. They haven't changed it really at all. I think at one point they actually added 5 horsepower. 5 horsepower, I mean, you're not gonna feel that. So 400 horsepower is 100% an increase, but it's an EV 400 horsepower, so that makes it quite a bit different. Now the 2028 STI is rumored to be priced around the 50 to 60K range, depending on trims and stuff that come out, which nobody knows anything about the trims that could be coming out with the car. But critics are guessing around that 50 to 60K range, which is pretty expensive. And something to also think about too is inflation is just continuously going up. Plus, dealerships love to mark up cars. The Supra was another fantastic example of that. I think that MSRP for that car when it came out was like the 60K range. And I know dealerships were marketing it up $20,000, $30,000, just because it was such a hyped up and anticipated car that dealerships knew that they could still get people to buy them, even if they marked it up by 15-20%. I could see the STI being very similar to that, but it's something we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully that's not the case. The 2028 STI render does look very good in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, if you think it looks good. Would you guys rather have a new STI EV, or would you rather have an STI not come out at all and basically just preserve this car? Let me know what you guys think. We still have quite a few years for this to happen, so I'm sure new news is going to be coming out as the years go on. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys next time.